Free means different things to different people. Free is the laughter we share together. Free are the tears of joy on that special day. Free is the ability to express yourself. Free is the air dancing around your fingers. Free feels good, and so does saving. At First Ontario Credit Union, our members always get free checking, free ATM use, free debit, free deposits, free e-statements, and new members get a free gift. Visit freeisgood.ca and get money doing better for you at First Ontario Credit Union.
Hello and welcome to the Green Valley Sports Complex here in Moline, Illinois. Thanks for joining us here on the ISC Network as we get set for Game 56 on the schedule that will feature the three-time defending champs in the Hill United Chiefs taking on the Circle Tap Dukes. Lance Winn alongside my broadcast partner Blair Setford. Glad to have you with us here, and we'll quickly set the batting order for the visitors from Hill United. It'll be Brad Ezekiel to lead things off. Nico Carrill will bat in the 2 spot. Nick Shales bats 3rd, and Steve Mullally is the cleanup hitter. Jason Hill bats in the 5 spot. That's laced into the gap and over the fence. A home run. First pitch swinging, or second pitch. And Brad Ezekiel puts a charge in one, and in a blink of an eye, the Chiefs lead this one 1-0. Blair didn't even get through the batting order, and the Chiefs strike.
Well, Bradley Ezekiel, who's probably amongst the 3 or 4 best hitters in fast pitch in the world right now, Lance, as you said, absolutely jumped on that first pitch. We actually thought it had bounced over for a ground rule double, but bouncing obviously on the far side as that pitch was smoked on a line out to the gap.
So it'll be Nico Carrill now, just to follow up with Mullally in the 4 spot and Jason Hill batting 5th. Mark Johnson bats 6th, James Todhunter 7th, Joel Southam 8th, and Jason Sanford, that's SANFORD period, bats in the 9 spot. Defensively for the Dukes, Jeff Matachinsky's in left field, Joe Van Hanley's in center, and Tommy Thompson's in right. Tom Crouch is on the hot corner. Ryan Sinclair's a shortstop. Daniel Dalton at second base. Manuel Godoy plays first, and Guillermo Patat will be catching for Joel Goodall. I figured that was a first pitch swinging Bradley Ezekiel, as just like that, the Chiefs are in the lead here. And Blair, when we look at these 3-time defending champions, a bit of a landslide in a 23-0 win earlier, and do you think that may help or hinder the team's progress towards a potential 4th championship?
Well, it was interesting. They came out the next night and they played the Fargo Kegel Black Knights. Brady Woods held them to only 3 runs. So I wonder if there was a bit of a hangover in terms of the Chiefs' bats. Took a little bit for them to get going. They jumped out in front quickly, but were pretty quiet the rest of that way and held in check. But they do what they always do, Lance. They seem to get out in front early and then put it on cruise control.
And now you have these Circle Tap Dukes, a big extra innings win to get them here. What would you say? Would you say that this is probably their biggest test so far?
Well, it certainly is for any team in the tournament. When you play the 3-time defending champions, it's going to be your biggest test. And for Circle Tap, right now, Joel Goodall has got to limit the damage here, and he does a good job of getting the strikeout on Nico Carrill, but that's what he's got to do, is rebound from that first pitch home run.
So Carrill goes down swinging. That'll bring up Nick Shales, the 3rd baseman, and of course, some can argue that Nick Shales the best all-round fastball player on the circuit right now.
Well, some can argue that, and some can just state it. And I think certainly Nick Shales makes a very convincing case to be considered the top player in fastball right now. There are some people who are in that company but Nick Shales is certainly right at the top.
So Shales with his first look here at Joel Goodall. There are one away, 1-0 the score in favor of the Hill United Chiefs. We are in the top of the first inning, just underway here in game 56. As we are on day 5 of competition here at the Green Valley Sports Complex. And that pitch will get away from Goodell, and his counterpart there, or his battery mate in Guillermo Patat.
Been a busy day here at the Green Valley Sports Complex. Lots of action going on through the ISC losers bracket as a couple of teams continue their march.
That pitch on the outside corner for a called strike.
The ISC 2 bracket also in full swing, and today we've got the Special Olympics game going on concurrently here to this matchup with Circle Tap and Hill United.
That pitch is driven out to right field. That's drifting foul. So Shales looking to go the other way, but that's where Goodall pitched him. And being the good all-around player that he is, Shales took that ball that way, wasn't able to keep it between the lines.
Nick's already got a couple of home runs along with 3 RBIs in the tournament, so batting .571. You have to almost factor out some of those stats from the early game. I mean, they're there on paper, but it's a little padded.
I'm going to leave that one alone because stats and stats. I assume you're referring to the 23-0 game.
Correct.
That's driven out and a base hit into left field. Nick Shales' big turnaround first, but he will trot back to the base with a 1-out single. And that, the second hit of the inning, will bring up the cleanup hitter in Steve Mullally. And of course, Mullally, no stranger to international competition, and bats cleanup for the 3-time defending champs for a reason.
Mullally, 625, coming into this game tonight with a home run and a couple of RBIs.
As a big swing and a miss, Shales bluffs like he was going and scampers back to the bag. Mullally, of course, susceptible sometimes to that rise ball. Sometimes he'll chase it, other times he'll take it out of the park.
It's a fine line with Steve. If you can get the rise ball elevated over the letters, there's about a 50-50 chance he'll chase it and either foul it back like that pitch or even swing and miss as he did the previous one. But if you leave it below the letters, you're likely to find yourself watching the ball leaving the yard.
No balls, 2 strikes, the count here, 1 away. 1-0 ball game in favor of the Hill United Chiefs. A leadoff home run from Bradley Ezekiel. As going down and getting that drop ball was Mullally and fouling it off. So the count remains 0-2. And that pitch, a ground ball to third, over to second, and can't handle that was Daniel Dalton. So runners now will be on the corners. And when you play a team like this, you really can't afford to make any errors.
Well, Dalton just pulled the glove in and was going to try and make the transfer before he had the ball. And, you know, like you said, Lance, you cannot give up those free outs.
Well, this is the kind of team, and you've seen it before. 1 minute you're in the ball game, and I know that it's the top of the first inning, but you blink an eye, give the 3-time defending champs another opportunity. They put another few on the board, then you go back up to bat, and then they come back up, put another few on the board, and in a blink of an eye, you're in the 4th, trying your best to scratch out a run to extend the game. So
Well, and that was an opportunity to get out of this inning. That was pretty much a tailor-made ground ball, a hard-won hopper to the third baseman. I thought he made a good throw as Dalton was there in plenty of time, and I think they were likely to get Mullally on the DP, but now they've got runners on the corners and still only one out in the inning.
Well, you're right. Even if they came away with one out there, that would have been beneficial. But either way, Jason Hill steps in, so things don't get any easier for Goodall as the number 5 hitter in Jason Hill steps in on the left side.
Jason's mostly a dead pull hitter. Anything inside, he's going to jerk out to right field.
2 balls and no strikes as Goodall being very careful, and we'll see if that error doesn't come back to haunt the Circle Tap Dukes. And a good pitch, but missed down, so 3-0 the count.
Jason's made the most of his at-bats. He's only got 2 hits, but he's got 5 RBIs.
And that pitch missing down. So Goodall has his struggles in the early going here as Hill works a walk, and the bases are loaded now for Mark Johnson, the left fielder.
Well, Mark Johnson's only the hottest guy in the tournament. 833, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. Not the guy you want at the plate right now for the Circle Tap Dukes.
And no place to put him, so you're going to have to go at him. Already surrendered a leadoff home run to Ezekiel in the top of this inning. And the Chiefs threatening again. It's in there for a called strike to Johnson. So the Hill United attack still in full effect here as the bases are loaded. And a swing and a miss from Johnson.
Good drop ball there from Joel Goodall, and that's a pitch he's going to have to put to good effect just to try and get a ground ball and get an opportunity to get a throw to the plate to at least cut down a runner.
No balls, 2 strikes. 1 away here in the top of the first and missing up. So not a bad 0-2 pitch. That pitch is driven up the center, base hit. 1 run's going to come into scoring Shales. Rounding third, scoring easily on the plays Mullally. Shales will go to second. Throw not in time as Hill scores 2. So a bases clearing double is what it works out to when the dust clears. And 3 RBIs for Mark Johnson and a 4-0 Hill United lead. That pitch driven out to the gap in right center. That's going to go almost to the wall. Another run's going to come in to score on a double from James Todhunter. And in a blink of an eye now, it's 5-0 in favor of the Chiefs.
Well, if we wondered if there was any lingering effects of that batting practice that the Chiefs got in what was effectively their first game, certainly they brought the bats here to play tonight because they are having their way with Joel Goodall.
That pitch is a line drive, and the tag is made, so a double play as Southern lines into it. And that will do it, but not before the Chiefs reel off 5 runs in the top of the first inning and they lead this one 5-0.
First Nations Payment Systems strives to deliver innovative and secure solutions that benefit merchants everywhere. We can help you decrease your costs and increase your revenues. With more than 1 million merchant locations using the First Nations Payment Systems platform worldwide, you can't go wrong by making the switch. When you partner with First Nations Payments, your clients will benefit from our world-class payment experts, support staff, and cutting-edge technologies. To learn more about how First Nations Payments can help your organization, contact us through our website at firstnationspayments.ca. We thank First Nations Payments for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
The annual Boys of Summer Tournament is held every July at Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time Fastpitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill on the grounds can't be beat. Reduced-rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer Tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at ct16@greenbaynet.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast program.
Pretty good start for Hill United, and a very tall order now for Circle Tap Dukes to be chasing 5 against Adam Falkert.
So set the batting order now for the Circle Tap Dukes. It'll be Ryan Sinclair to lead things off. Daniel Dalton bats in the 2 spot. Manu Godoy is in the 3 hole. Jovan Hanley bats cleanup. Tom Crouch bats 5th. Guillermo Patat is in the 6th spot. Tommy Thompson bats 7th, Brandon Amon in the 8th hole, and Jeff Matachinsky rounds out the 9. Defensively for the Hill United Chiefs, Mark Johnson in left, Brad Ezekiel in center, and Nico Kirill in right. Nick Shales on the hot corner, James Todhunter at short, Joel Sutherman is the second baseman, Steve Mullally at first, and Jason Sanford catching for Adam Fulker.
Keep an eye on the landing area, Lance, out in front of the pitching board. There's been a lot of guys who have been digging in and getting all the way down to the clay. That's 2 or 3 inches under the surface of the ground here on the Miltan field at the main diamond here at the Green Valley Sports Complex. And a lot of guys are getting concerned that as they get down into that clay that they're digging ridges and there's a chance of rolling an ankle. You see Adam Falker doing a lot of landscaping out there already. Of course, the grounds crew has been out there doing what they can, but the landing area really takes a pounding over the course of the week.
So we'll see if that has any effect on Adam Fulker and his landing as he does a little bit of grounds work. A mountain to climb here for these Dukes already in the hole, 5 runs to Hill United. Jason Sanford and Adam Fulker had been working together for a number of years, know each other real well, so it'll be Ryan Sinclair who steps in to the right side of the batter's box with his first look at Fulker with a little bit of a different regiment this season. Wasn't around the circuit for a lot of tournaments leading up to this one.
Adam and his wife Jessie have a baby boy at home, and so he came up for the St. John's tournament and the St. Clement's tournament and went back to Australia after that, and then returned after 3 weeks at home to play in Mitchell and then at the ASAs in Kimberley and here in the ISC. And as you said, it's been a really different regimen for Adam than what he's used to.
The 0-1 pitch missing up to run the count even at 1-1 to Sinclair. And we'll see if that regimen has affected Adam or not. Usually he's pretty warm and in a good rhythm coming into this tournament. We'll see if it takes him some time. Certainly didn't look like he needed any on that pitch there, as the count now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody away. We're in the bottom of the first inning, 5-0 the score. As Folkert's drop ball misses to run the count even at 2-2.
Totally changes the way for Circle Tap to approach this game as well. You can throw any opportunity for small ball out the window. You've now got to go out and collect hits and hope that you can get a clutch hit at the right time when you've got some base runners aboard.
Sinclair doing a good job of fouling that pitch off to keep the count at 2-2. And that pitch had a notion. Check down, he did not go, and that will run the count full. Stick around, a good ball game follows this one. The A1 Bombers taking on the Scarborough Force. Another battle of 2 unbeaten teams. As a swing and a miss, down goes Sinclair. First strikeout victim for Adam Folkert, and that will bring up Daniel Dalton, the second baseman.
Lance, the Blue Crew out there tonight. Rob Durand is on the plate. Ed Oliver is out at first base, and Trevor Topping will be working third base tonight.
And hats off to the Blue Crew, have been out on that diamond. Well, it's been pretty warm today. As a big cut and a swing and a miss from Dalton. Take for granted the players can go in and out per inning into the shade of the dugout, but the umpires, they're out there the whole time. Yeah, the pitch from Folkart missing down, so the count 1-1.
Well, I'll give a special shout out to Kevin Wallace, Tony Dixon, and Randy McLam, who worked a 4-hour 13-inning game earlier this afternoon in the heat of midday.
Well, they were scheduled for 1 game and ended up getting 2.
Toronto Batmen prevailing 5-4 in 13 innings over the Kitchener-Hallman Cubs. That game started at just before 11 a.m. and wrapped up 3 hours and 56 minutes later.
Folkert comes with a high drop in there for a strike. Not sure if Dalton's seen a pitch like that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away here. And a swing and a miss. Down goes Dalton. Back-to-back strikeouts for Folkart, and that will bring up Manuel Godoy. Godoy having himself a pretty good tournament.
Circle Tap, the top 5 in their order, really emblematic of the international flavor of the game. You go from an Aussie to a Canadian to an Argentine. Coming up next is a Kiwi from New Zealand, and then finally an American in the 5 spot.
United Nations in the top 5 of that order. That pitch fouled off, so Godoy in the hole now 0-1.
Holy cow, Lacey comes home for a run.
So a big test here for the Dukes. And Folkart missing just outside. Looked like he put a little extra on that pitch. And a swing and a miss.
Adam really does seem to be bringing it extra hard here tonight. And you wonder, Lance, just given the difference in his regimen that you talked about a little bit earlier, whether he feels he's got something to prove this summer.
That ball up the middle, base hit for Manuel Godoy. So a 2-out single for Godoy will bring up the cleanup hitter in Jovan Hanley. Well, it'll be interesting to see, Blair, how Adam reacts. It could work one of 2 ways. It could work in a way where he needs a long time to get into that rhythm to carry over, or he could be a little more well rested than usual, and that would allow him a little more velocity and a little more longevity. So it'll be interesting to see which way he goes. It's hard for us to tell here on the Wednesday. We'll have to wait and see Thursday, Friday, and of course Championship Saturday.
Yeah, a lot of ball to be played between now and then.
That pitch bounced in there to Hanley.
Yeah, the question about does he have the arm endurance, having not played for those 3-4 tournaments over the course of the summer. But at the same time, we are talking about the number one pitcher in the world, the undisputed number one pitcher in the world.
That pitch is low and in the dirt. Sanford keeps it in front of him, so Godoy cannot go anywhere. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. So after back-to-back strikeouts, Folkard gives up a single, and he's behind in the count now to Jovan Hanley. That pitch working inside and missing. So 3-0. Chiefs put up 5 runs in the top of this inning. Circle Tap trying to respond with a runner on first as Folkard misses. 4-pitch walk. Very uncharacteristic, Folkard. And with 2 away, that'll bring up Tom Crouch.
Well, it's exactly uncharacteristic. You just don't see Adam give up very many 4-pitch walks. He might fall behind a batter here and there, but usually he's got the moxie to come back and get a strike on the outside corner with that drop ball of his, but really not even close there, didn't think, to Jovan Hanley.
So important here for the Chiefs to close the door. When you got an opponent down, you want to step on him as that pitch is fouled straight back. You certainly do not want them to breathe life back in him.
Well, for Circle Tap fans, this is exactly what you need. A couple of guys on board. Now you need the key hit to drive in a couple here and try and close this gap a little bit early if you can.
Well, you're right. The worst thing that can happen is you kill the momentum here and then you give the Chiefs another at-bat and they put another couple runs up. Now you're in real trouble. As that ball, ground ball to second. Flipped over to first in time by Joel Southern. So Folkard gets out of the jam, 2 runners on, and they're left stranded and no runs across. So after 1 complete, the Hill United Chiefs in the lead, 5-0 the score.
At Cooper Tire, we make tires for people, not just cars. Our brand promise is that Cooper Tires perform on the road so drivers can perform everywhere those roads take them, because life is a journey. From the everyday motorist to the most demanding high-performance off-road and motorsports enthusiasts, we have tires for you. Cooper Tire is proudly based in Findlay, Ohio, and we have manufacturing, sales and distribution, technical and design operations within our family of companies in more than a dozen countries around the world. Visit us online at coopertire.com to learn more. Cooper Tire, proud of where we've been, confident in where we're going.
For all your team uniform and equipment needs, fastball, slow pitch, and hockey, for players and teams, make sure you visit Corbett's Source for Sports on the South Service Road in Oakville, Ontario. There's a lot of deals to be had on all kinds of equipment. Thank you to Paul Hurd and Corbett's Source for Sports for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
Welcome back here to the Green Valley Sports Complex. Lance Winn alongside Blair Setford. Glad you've decided to tune in, and big ball game here. Circle Tap Dukes and the Hill United Chiefs, 2 teams with 2-0 records. meeting here on Wednesday. Another battle of two undefeated teams to follow this one in the A1 Bombers and the Scarborough Force.
Well, this is the bottom side of the bracket, and these two teams are looking to join the Toronto Gators and the New York Gremlins in, I guess, what you would effectively call the Final Four on the undefeated side of the bracket. So the Gators and Gremlins will play tomorrow night at 6. The winners of our games tonight will then follow in the nightcap at 8.
So not only some outstanding ball coming up here tonight, but tomorrow night when you've got and again, you can call them Final Four, Elite Four, whatever you want, but the 4 teams that haven't lost a game will do battle tomorrow. So some outstanding fast pitch ahead of us here as Jason Sanford leads things off and looks at a called strike.
Jason, a home run and 3 RBIs, and defensively, Lance, I still think one of the very best catchers in the game.
Well, he certainly handles the Hill United pitching staff quite well, and anytime you've had success with an Adam Folkert in the circle, you've got to give credit to the guy who's doing the catching, and Jason Sanford's been a mainstay there. A good changeup from Goodall, as that's in there for a strike. Had Sanford reaching for it.
Sanford was named the Nova Scotia Team Athlete of the Year for his work with Team Canada.
That ball's driven out to center, and you can get out of this ballpark. Home run, deepest part of the park for Jason Sanford. A leadoff solo shot, and the score is now 6-0 Hill United.
Well, back-to-back leadoff home runs for the Hill United Chiefs. And, Lance, you talked about it. First inning, you give up 5. You had a chance to score for Circle Tap. They kind of squandered it, and bang, here's yet another run crossing the plate for Hill United.
Well, you know as well as I do, when you get an opportunity against a team like Hill, you have to take advantage of it because you don't know if you're going to get those opportunities again. And unfortunately, Circle Tap not able to do that in the bottom of the first. So the top of the second, Jason Sanford just made him pay. 6-0 now for the top of the shop in Bradley Ezekiel. And, of course, Ezekiel was the one who led off the game with a home run. That to the power alley in left center, and that was on a rope. And that sort of started the ball rolling. 6-0 now in favor of the Chiefs. That pitch from Goodall missing out.
Well, the unfortunate thing for Joel Goodall is that he may have to absorb all of this tonight. I'm not sure if Sebastian Gervasuti is available for duty tonight. He got a line drive right off the knee in that extra innings game, rather, with Peligro Sports the other day. And I talked to Sebastian last night. He said it was feeling better, but he might not be available today.
Well, I'll tell you, when we actually saw that play, as Goodall walks Ezekiel on 5 pitches, when we saw the play, initially we thought potentially his kneecap could be busted or it was going to be something more severe. It was a relief when we actually saw him get up, and to his credit, he wanted to go back in the ball game. You could tell he didn't want to come out, and they kind of had to make him go out of the game. So good on that, the fact that at least he's on the mend and it's not more serious, as it's a line drive. What a snag out there by Daniel Dalton. Tried to double up Ezekiel, as Ezekiel wasn't sure if the ball was live or not, but a hard hit ball from Nico Kirill.
I think Circle Tap has got a case here for runner interference by Bradley Ezekiel. To be honest with you, it looked to me like Bradley stuck out his hand and deflected that throw that was coming back to first base. He was going to get doubled off, but umpire crew says no. Inadvertent, I guess.
Well, and that's, as you can see, there's a few of the Circle Tap Dukes pleading that case. And
well, let's give credit to Daniel Dalton for a great diving play on the line drive, and then looked like he was definitely going to get Bradley, but the throw ricocheted off the arm.
That was Tommy Thompson, of course, pleading the case. He's got a good angle out there in right field, but awfully tough to change the umpire's mind after the call's made. Either way, great play by Dalton, and that'll bring up Nick Shales. Shales without going the other way. Good play at first. Got the lead runner. No chance for the double up. So Manuel Godoy makes a good play, stretches out. They get the lead runner. And Nick Shales will be on first base with the fielder's choice.
Circle Top Dukes flashing some leather out there on the right side of the infield. Back-to-back very good plays by the second baseman, then the first baseman, Dalton and Godoy.
So that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Steve Mullally. He reached base on an error in the first and scored a run. And that pitch is in there for a called strike. Good crowd on hand here, as there have been throughout the week. And Mullally goes the other way, and settling under it and making the grab is Tommy Thompson. And just like that, the inning is over for the Chiefs as Mullally flies out to end it. One run, one hit, and one runner left aboard. The Chiefs continue to add to their lead. They now lead this one 6-0, heading down to the bottom of the second inning.
The law firm of Fireman Steinmetz Dea built its reputation on getting fair compensation for victims of serious personal injury or catastrophic claims. With a combined 90 years of experience and a fierce dedication to achieving results, Fireman lawyers have recovered millions of dollars every year for our clients. Whether you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident, a slip and fall, or as a result of any other act of negligence, when we represent you, we're committed to getting the results you deserve. With the lawyers at Fireman Steinmetz Dea, you are not alone. Contact us through firemanlawyers.com for a free consultation. No legal fees are billed until you receive your settlement. We thank Jack Fireman for his generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
Think about the greatest tournaments and championships played in fastball. Remember the players who have been at the highest pinnacle of our game, like Adam Folkard and Andrew Kirkpatrick. Gorilla Gold was there helping them win. What has been a closely guarded secret by the most prominent players is now available for you. We're ready to give you a hand to play at your best in all conditions. Visit us online at GorillaGold.com to order your Gorilla Gold products today.
Adam Folkard doing a great job out there on the mound so far. Can he continue this little run and rebound, I guess, off of that little wobble with the two out there in the first?
Well, for Adam, it is a wobble. For anybody else, it's just a regular inning. So it'll be Guillermo Patat now to lead things off as he swings through for strike one and then takes to even the count now at 1-1. Patat with his first at bat of this ball game. And another swing and a miss. So it will be interesting to see, and you're right, Blair, that is uncharacteristic of Folkard. Other pitchers out there will go, I don't know what you guys are talking about. That's a regular inning for our team, but you know, a guy strikes out the first two, gives up a single and a walk, and then induces a ground ball to get out of it.
But just to see him in particular, that 4-ball walk to Manuel Godoy, or rather Jovan Honley, that was an un-Adam Folkard-like at bat.
And that was a very Adam Folkard-like pitch, freezing Patat on the inside corner to record his third strikeout of the ball game. And it'll be one away for Tommy Thompson. 6-0 the score. We are in the bottom of the second inning. Lance Winn Blair Setford, glad to have you with us here on the ISC Network. First pitch to Thompson, in there for a called strike.
Bottom of the order has struggled for Circle Tap here throughout the week. the production really has been at the top of the order. Godoy and Hanley been driving in the runs as Sinclair and Dalton in particular have been getting on.
Big swing and a miss from Thompson. He's in the hole now 0-2. And that pitch on the just missed. I think Jason Sanford was ready to toss that down the third and call it an out, but not the case. And there you go, toss down the third. Thompson caught looking, back-to-back strikeouts. So a similar start to this inning as the last inning.
Back-to-back backwards Ks, too, for Adam Folkert, freezing batters.
So Brandon Amon now, the designated player, will get his first look at Folkert.
And lots of eyes that are here, important eyes for a number of the players.
Two hopper to handle by Southern, bobbled, and couldn't corral it. So an E4 on that play will allow Amon to reach base, and with 2 out, that'll bring up Jeff Matichinsky.
But those important eyes include John Stewart, the head coach of Team Canada, who just arrived a little bit earlier this afternoon, in fact about a half an hour prior to this game. Warren Jones from USA Softball is here. He's on the selection committee for the men's team. And Mark Sorensen, the head coach of the New Zealand Black Sox, is here as well.
What a cast. We've got all the elite brass from different organizations or governing bodies in the sport here.
Well, and look forward to most or all of them joining us likely tomorrow night on the ISC network. Stay tuned for some special guests coming up.
So Matichinsky now working with a 1-1 count. And Folkert missing down with a drop ball. So 2 balls, 1 strike. And took a little off there and painted the outside corner, did Folkert. So that'll run the count now even at 2-2. And that pitch in there for a strike. So striking out the side, looking, is Adam Folkert. They do leave a runner aboard, courtesy the error from Joel Southern, but no runs pushed across, and we have played to complete. 6-0 the score in favor of the Hill United Chiefs.
Murphy's Fish and Chips is not only a great place to get some of the best seafood in Canada, but is also one of the best fastball sponsors in the game. Voted Nova Scotia's best fish and chips by Eastlink TV, Murphy's is a family institution since 1996 and a proud fastball sponsor of many Canadian and ISC championship teams. Open 7 days a week. Come join us for our famous English-style fish and chips or any of our daily specials. Murphy's is located at 88 Esplanade in Truro, Nova Scotia. We thank Dave T. Anderson and Murphy's Fish and Chips for their commitment to fastball and the broadcast program.
If a man runs for president, interviews for a high-level job, or needs a good table at a smart restaurant, chances are he'll be wearing a suit. Mr. Ned is your custom tailor in New York City. Located at 137 Fifth Avenue, we provide our clients with the highest quality custom suits at affordable pricing. Our range of fabrics is second to none and will fit the needs of any well-dressed professional. Whether it be everyday business attire or a special occasion, we have the ability to make you a man of distinction. Visit the store at 137 Fifth Avenue in New York or see us online at mrnednyc.com. We thank Mr. Ned and Var Matosian for generously supporting the broadcast program.
Okay, so we're joined in the booth here by some special guests. Var Matosian, Mr. Ned's Custom Tailors, one of our sponsors here on the ISC network. Les Novak, who runs the umpires committee and a longtime member and commissioner of the International Softball Congress. And Var Matosian was kind enough to put up a custom tailored suit for a $500 donation to the Carol Forbes Foundation. And it's come down to Les Novak and Blair Setford for the opportunity to bid on this particular suit. So we're going to do this, I guess, by way of a coin toss. Is that right, Var?
Before the coin toss, you each now have the opportunity to forego the coin toss by paying either $100 more to the Carol Forbes Foundation or, and much more preferably, $50 cash in my pocket. Les, I see you reaching for a 50. Is it? I don't see you reaching in your pocket.
I'll go for the $100.
You go for the 100 to go to the Carol Forbes Foundation. Do you want to rethink this?
I think he thinks that Varm is trying to get out of donating a suit. Is what's happening here. I think I've gotten onto your scheme there, mister.
More money for the foundation and for me.
And for you.
Or we can just do the coin flip.
No, let's do this. I'll offer $600 to the Forbes and $50 to the tailor.
You're out.
The suit is yours. The suit is yours. So a $600 foundation donation by Les Novak and $50 to Var Matosian, and nobody gets a suit. Oh wait, no, Les does get a suit. Les does get a suit.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, not yet. He looks a little short. Oh, he's got a check. Okay. You're going to take a twice signed third-party check, post-dated.
He doesn't need. I'll make the check to John. Charlie.
On behalf of Vaughn, I'm going to donate $50 back to the Carol. Somebody did it tonight.
The extra 50 can go to the foundation as well.
Here we go.
So we thank Les.
Money again.
Var Matosian and Les Novak, guys, thanks very much for your generosity, not only with the Carol Forbes Foundation, but also with the ISC Network. Gentlemen, we thank you guys very much, and it's all been in good fun here this evening, and look forward to the video for this to be posted up on the YouTube very shortly.
Okay, let's get a still picture of you guys.
So back to action here, just to get you caught up in case you missed it. Jason Hill, line drive, great play. Diving to his left was Daniel Dalton to record the out, and then Mark Johnson, as you just saw, lifted a major league fly ball out to right field, and it was caught by Tommy Thompson. So that'll bring up James Todhunter now with 2 away, and the Hill United Chiefs leading 6-0.
Well, I've got him maintained, but I'll do it this week at some.
James Todhunter, of course, doubled and cashed in a run in his first at bat. Goodall took a little off that and dropped it in there for a strike. So Todhunter behind in the count now, no balls and 2 strikes.
Thank the audience for bearing with us here, as any opportunity to poke some fun at Var Matosian has to be taken.
Well, down goes Todhunter. Can't believe it. That pitch looked a little bit outside, but with a 6-run lead, you got to swing the bat. No runs, no hits, and nobody left the board. So for the first time, the Hill United Chiefs come up empty. We're headed to the bottom of the 3rd after this.
Whatever your delivery requirements are across North America, Skelton Truck Lines provides you with reliable, safe, and high-quality service at a fair price. Skelton Truck Lines equipment is satellite tracked and delivers small parcel, less than truckload, and expedited shipments throughout Canada and the U.S. With over 50 years of experience and more than 50 trucks serving 4 divisions, Skelton Truck Lines is a thriving Ontario business and a proud Fastball sponsor. Visit us online at skeltontruck.com. Thanks to Mike Skelton for supporting the broadcast program.
Peligro Sports provides the essentials needed to give your team an edge on the field. Our brand is rooted in creating a unique experience tailored to the specific needs of your team to ensure your performance is at the best level to execute plays. At Peligro Sports, we rally behind our athletes and understand their fight to take their game to a dangerous level. Visit our store at 2200 Amsterdam Avenue in New York City or see us online at peligrosportsnyc.com. Thanks to Jose and Peligro Sports for their support of the broadcast program.
Back here at the Green Valley Sports Complex in Moline, Illinois, Lance Winn Blair Setford. Glad you've tuned in to Game 56. Circle Tap Dukes taking on the Hill United Chiefs, and the Chiefs lead this one 6-0 the score. It'll be the top of the shop in Ryan Sinclair, Daniel Dalton, followed by Manuel Godoy, the scheduled 3 hitters here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So a good time here to scratch one out, if at all possible, for the Circle Tap Dukes. The Chiefs, of course, 1 run away from shortening this ball game as Folkert starts him off with a little bit of an off-speed pitch over the outside corner.
Well, Adam just changing things up a little bit. These 2 teammates on the Australia team, so he'll see a lot of Adam, at least from the defensive side.
Folkert comes inside, so working both sides of the plate. And Sinclair's in the hole 0-2.
I think you got to start swinging the bat a little bit. If you're Ryan Sinclair, I mean, he's looked at a pitch, as you said, on the inside, on the outside, but you got to get the bat off your shoulder.
I think you got to be a little more aggressive up there, knowing full well that Adam is usually around the plate in some way, shape, or form. And that ball is lifted out deep, and going back and making a great grab over the fence was Nico Carrill to record the out. So a highlight grab robs Ryan Sinclair of a home run, and he'll be talking about that for a while to come.
Well, Lance, let's talk about Nico Carrill for a minute, for just the job that he's done essentially as a substitute for Jeff Ellsworth all season long. He has hit the ball incredibly well for Hill United, for power, for average, and then, as you just saw, great defense out there in right field too.
So usually not known for his defensive prowess, but Nico Carrill comes up big there, and that will bring up Daniel Dalton. Dalton, of course, was a strikeout victim in the first.
Daniel was a late addition to the Circle Tap roster. One of the younger players to be coming up out of the fastball factory of Newfoundland and Labrador, plays in the St. John's League back in Newfoundland, and introduced himself to the circuit with a lot of home runs and hitting for average and power for Circle Tap this year. Absolutely thrilled in what they got in Daniel Dalton.
And he's certainly done his job. I mean, take away that little bit of a miscue there at second base in the first inning. He's already come up with 2 brilliant plays to redeem himself for that. With his hands full, 0-2, and he goes down swinging for the second time here to Adam Folkert. And with 2 out, that'll bring up Manuel Godoy. And Blair, when you look at Carrill's grab out there, you got to figure that will take the wind right out of a team's sails.
Well, Ryan Sinclair was looking to do what he could to get his team jump-started, and would have been great to get a home run, but Nico Carrill takes it right away.
Big cut there from Godoy. Of course, Godoy singled, and he's the only one that has a hit off Folkert up to this point. The 0-1 waved at. So 0-2 here.
Well, Godoy came in batting .500 with a home run for Circle Tap. He's got to be one of those key guys that can get a base hit off of Adam.
And that ball is lifted way up, drifting back if it stays fair. And Carrill in foul territory makes the grab to end the inning. So Nico Carrill single-handedly keeping the Dukes off the scoreboard, robbing Ryan Sinclair of a home run, and we'll be headed to the fourth. 6-0 in favor of the Chiefs. Back here in a moment.
Sometimes people worry about asking for help because there can be a stigma around mental health problems.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
They might believe that asking for help means admitting that something's wrong.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Some people worry about how others might see them.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Asking for help means that you want to make changes and take the first steps towards better mental health.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
We should celebrate the courage it takes to speak up and make changes.
Trust your teammates. Trust your teammates.
Getting help is part of recovery.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Mental health isn't something you need to keep to yourself. Talk to a friend. Trust your teammates. You're not alone.
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
The first steps may be the toughest, but knowing where to look for help is a good start. Community mental health organizations like the Canadian Mental Health Association or Mental Health America offer resources and programs that can help you. Visit cmha.ca or mentalhealthamerica.net to find a branch in your community.
And remember,
Trust your teammates.
Trust your teammates.
Welcome back here. The 8-9-1 batters scheduled for the Hill United Chiefs leading 6-0 over the Circle Tap Dukes, and it'll be Joel Southern to lead things off. And he lined into a double play to end the first in his last at bat. That pitch from Joel Goodall called a strike on the swing by Southern.
Yeah, it looked like he was trying to back away from it, but in the process brought the bat most of the way around.
And Goodall nibbling on that outside corner. Count though, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Lance, I think Circle Tap can take some solace in the fact that they had a couple of good, well-hit balls off of Adam Folkert. Goodall's job right now is to keep the door closed.
As that pitch bounced in there. Well, you're right. With a 6-run lead here, you give the Chiefs a couple more, and now you're going to have to scratch out a run or two off of Adam, which is no easy task, as Goodall misses up and in. 3-1 to count. Stick around, big ball game to follow this one. Scarborough Force, A1 Bombers. And Goodall misses, so a leadoff walk issued to Southern. And that will bring up the number 9 hitter in Jason Sanford. Sanford with a leadoff home run in the second in his only other at bat. That's what pushed the lead to 6. And a chopper, slow roller, fielded by Goodall, flipped in time. So that will advance Southern to second base. Sanford gone on the 1-3 putout, and it'll take it to the top of the shop in Bradley Ezekiel.
It's effectively a swinging bunt there by Jason Sanford, and does a good job moving the runner, if nothing else.
Ezekiel, of course, led off the ball game with a home run and followed that up with a walk in the second. So 1 for 1 with a walk is Ezekiel. Goodall nibbling, keeping away from Ezekiel's power. And I know they say pitchers are supposed to have short memories, but you can bet he certainly remembers that line drive home run, courtesy Ezekiel in the first inning to lead off the ball game. And that pitch will get away, scooting down to third base is Southam on the pass ball. And another runner now in scoring position here for Ezekiel. And a chance for the Chiefs to add to their 6-0 lead. And that pitch from Goodall inside and on the corner. Stick around. We will be joined by Mr. Warren Jones, the head honcho, or one of the head honchos at USA Softball and the ASA. I believe there will be some amalgamating, and we will discuss that, of course, and find out what the heck he's doing here anyway. Seems like we've been running into him all over the place this year, waving at that. Down goes Ezekiel. Strikeout victim. Third of the ball game, and a runner now at third with 2 away for Nico Kirill. And Kirill's done just about everything here today. He's hit the ball, although he's lined into. He had a line drive in the second, but it was a great play from Daniel Dalton, going to his left. And I'm not quite sure what the discussion here is or what it entails. But I see Ezekiel now standing on first base as opposed to having struck out. So that's a little bit of a contrast there. So now you've got 1 away and runners on the corner. And we will get an explanation for you. Not sure when, but either way, there's 1 out, runners on the corner. Skrill, hard shot, good play at short, flip to second, over to first in time. A beautiful 6-4-3 inning-ending double play, courtesy the defense of the Dukes, and in a blink of an eye, what looked like a promising inning goes for naught. Nothing doing for the Chiefs. They still lead this one 6-0.
Well, my hat's off to Ryan Sinclair, Daniel Dalton, and Manuel Godoy for pulling off the slickest 6-4-3 double play we are going to see here this week. That ball was laced out to the hole in short, and Sinclair with a quick step and then to turn and throw him for Dalton to then make the relay to get Nico Kirill, who runs very, very well. Great play. We're going to bring in Warren Jones, the head of ASA USA Softball. And Warren, great to see you here. You're on the selection committee for Team USA, so doing some scouting here.
I'm doing some scouting. I used to be on the selection committee, but now being the president, I'm not allowed to be on there, but I still help them out with their scouting, so that's what we're looking for some nice young players, is maybe can USA citizens that can help out with our program.
Well, now there have been some changes with USA Softball. Maybe you can talk a little bit about the amalgamation and what that means going forward for some of the players involved in the program.
Well, with USA Softball, we actually are changing our name from ASA to USA Softball, and what we've done is we're going to be Coach Brucker is going to be our head coach for the next quad, and so we got him already announced. So we'll be looking at some new players. We're going to have a tryout come December, and then we'll probably name a core of people, hopefully then, and then we'll name the rest of the guys sometime in May or June of next year, and heading up to Whitehorse for the World Championship WBSC.
You ran an identification camp in Ashland this summer. First time you tried something like that. How successful was that?
It was very successful. We had 8 teams, and as soon as I did the drawing, we had 4 more teams wanted to get in, and I already got people calling about next year. We'll do that again. What it does for us, I believe, it gives us a chance to look at some of our younger ball players and gives them a chance to shine a little bit and not going out there and facing the compatriots or those guys of the world, and it gives them a little chance to get some confidence in and go from there.
So when you looking ahead, of course, and talking about the program now that you are the president, what are some of the challenges that you're faced when you're thrust into the position?
Well, it's like anything else, getting men to play Fastpitch softball is always a big challenge because we, as a lot of places, the men's game is dying off, and everybody wants instant gratification. They want to play, and where they can hit 800 or 900. So it's just a chance to get the players to stay with us and find the young players and get them interested in this game, because I'm a firm believer if we get them to look at this game, get them to play this game, they'll never leave this game. It's a great game to play, so that's what we're trying to keep going.
There's talk about running a combined event next year for under 10, 12, 14, 16, etc. in possibly the Michigan area. That's great to see, getting some of the youth involvement back in the game too.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to do. It's a great pleasure. It's kind of ironic. We have Larry Fisher, who is the president of the ISC, and myself being the president of USA Softball. And we're both from Ohio. So and Larry and I have known each other for a long time, and Larry got with me last year and proposed the idea. And I think it's a great idea, and I'm hoping to see it through fruition and making sure we make these things happen. Because softball, it's a very small game, and we just need to keep them. We got very few people to choose from. We just need to keep them going and keep them playing softball. So it's no sense us. We need to merge together with the ISC and USA and work together and get these young men playing Fastpitch softball, because they can play in both tournaments. So that's what we need to do.
You just came off a very successful event in Midland, Michigan. The USA team, a 5th place finish, I think, but did very well at home. And it's encouraging some of the younger players that you got coming through the program there.
Some nice young players coming in, and for the first time in a long time, we've got 2 nice pitchers that we're working with, and we got some guys, and we got some guys that had played in that tournament up here in Midland that are playing here this weekend. So we're trying to keep these guys engaged in our program.
And so, who do you think out of that team? Who do you see coming through to get onto the men's team for 2017 up in Whitehorse?
Well, that's going to be. It's a big step going from the 19U to the big time. So I think that the kids that we had on our junior national team, they're probably 2 cycles away. Maybe not the next cycle in 2017, maybe in 2019 there'll be some kids that could possibly play if they stay involved in the program. What has happened to us in the past is our players, they play the junior ball and then they get out and they just forget about it and they go playing slow pitch or just quit playing softball altogether. So we're just hoping to keep some of these younger kids in our program for at least 2 cycles. We keep them there. We feel as though we got them and they'll play good.
Well, that's excellent, Warren. We really appreciate you taking the time out, and congratulations on a new position, but more importantly, a good job of looking to the future and building the program, and your amalgamation with the ISC. I think that it's always best to work together with any of the organizations as opposed to working.
And it is, and I'm just so glad that we're able to bridge that gap, and then we're going to keep it moving and go from there.
Excellent. Well, congratulations, and thank you very much for joining us here. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Warren Jones, thank you very much as well. Thank you.
So down goes Patat, the 3rd strikeout victim of the inning, as Adam Folkert handled Jovan Hanley, Tom Crouch, and Patat in neat fashion. And that will do it in the bottom of the 4th. So as we head to our slide to 5, the score remains the Hill United Chiefs 6, Circle Tap Dukes nothing.
Why do you play? For 100 years since 1912, Worth has been helping top athletes answer that question. Whether it's for strikeouts or home runs, the Worth K-Master 120 is the best ball in men's fast-pitch softball, and there's nothing soft about it or you. Worth is proud to be the official ball supplier to the ISC. Visit worthsports.com for more information on Worth products, including the K-Master.
Welcome back here as we head to our slide to 5. The Hill United Chiefs with a 6-run lead, and they will send up their 3-4-5 hitters in Nick Shale, Steve Mullally, and Jason Hill.
Well, I think right now 3-4-5, the meat of the order, they want to get that 1 run to get to the run rule mercy and try and foreshorten this one to 5 innings if they can. That's the mission right here this inning.
Well, you certainly don't want to be out on that diamond any longer than you have to be. The shadow's now creeping through the infield. Eventually they will creep over the entire diamond, but right now some struggles on the right side. So your first baseman and right fielder may be a little bit challenged with the sun. As Goodall missing outside to Shales. So the count now 1 ball, no strikes.
Lance, it's great in that interview to hear Warren Jones talk about working together with the ISC on that youth tournament next year that's being planned for the Michigan area. Under 18, under 16, under 14, to get the boys and the young men involved in playing.
As that ball is driven out and gone, home run, Nick Shales. Third leadoff home run of this ball game. And just like that now, 7-0, and of course you really put the pressure on the Dukes with that home run.
It's ironic, and you mentioned it, the third leadoff home run of the game. I don't ever recall seeing anything quite like that, and I'm sure it's just coincidence, but each time Bradley Ezekiel and Nick Shales here, and then the other one was Jason Sanford.
So you don't often see that many leadoff home runs in a game, but so you just got rid of that home run there, and now you got Steve Mullally as he lifts one up, but that will hang, and a good grab from Jeff Medicinski as he had a long run, and Mullally is the first out of the 5th inning.
But just to go back to that youth tournament, certainly that's going to be something next year to get the boys of the different ages together and playing fast-pitch softball in a competitive environment.
Well, how many times has that been done before, that many use of that many categories? So it's an unprecedented thing, and again, it's always good when there's progress and going forward, and if that's the first time that USA Softball and the ISC have merged to put on an event, it's the first of hopefully many.
Agreed, 100%. It is good to see any cooperation amongst the organizations to get together to promote the game, to get more young people involved.
So Jason Hill steps in there and takes a pitch in tight for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Hill walked, scored a run in the first, and lined out on a great play from Dalton to lead off the third. And a good pitch there from Goodall all over the outside corner for a strike. So he's back in the count now, 2-1. And that ball driven out to center on a line, and get out of this ballpark. A home run for Jason Hill. And I don't know if that ball went any higher than 8 feet as it went out over the fence in center field.
Seem to be the home runs that Jason Hill specializes in, the hard line drives. When he squares up a ball, he usually hits a screamer, and that one was no exception off the rolling sign that decorates the back fence set at about 300 feet. So 300 feet on a line, that's a poke.
So 2 home runs in the inning for the Chiefs have pushed their lead now to 8-0. And it'll be Mark Johnson, like you said, Blair, the hottest hitter on this team, working on a 1-for-2 ball game, will step in to the right side of the batter's box.
And certainly the tournament leader in RBIs right now, as well as he's reached double digits. And Mark, it's important for Mark to have a really good tournament here for his opportunity to get on to Team Canada. There's an opening in the outfield. He's amongst the favorites for that.
Ground ball is booted and no chance. So the wheels kind of coming off here as Ryan Sinclair comes up hobbling. E6. And that will allow Johnson to make his way down to first base now for James Todhunter.
And Mark Johnson, of course, will want to put on a show for the Team Canada brass that are here.
Todhunter doubled and cashed in a run in the first. Struck out looking to end the third. 8-0 to score here. We are in the top of the 5th inning. And that ball is driven out fair down the left field line. Rounding third and hobbling now as a toe on the bag. And it looks like Mark Johnson may be a bit injured. A double for Todd Hunter, his second of the ball game.
That's not a good sign for Mark Johnson and the Hill United Chiefs, as he came up lame coming around third and heading into home. Did you see what happened to Mark?
Well, I'm not sure if maybe his toe got the corner or if he kind of rolled his ankle a bit, stepping on the corner of that bag, which is obviously a little bit wobbly, and may have tweaked it a bit.
Well, he certainly really slowed up and kind of limped into home, and we think that he hit the bag and turned the ankle a little bit at third.
So a 9-0 lead now for the Chiefs, and it'll be Joel Southern that steps in. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. Or Southern lined into that fantastic inning-ending double play in the first, not, of course, to be mistaken to the fantastic inning-ending double play in the fourth by the Dukes. They pulled off 2 today, and they've both been impressive.
Been an up-and-down game for the Dukes. I mean, they've booted a couple of balls, but they've also made some fantastic plays, as you've said.
Weak ground ball fielded at second over to first in time by Dalton for the second out. So it'll be a good matchup tonight with the Scarborough Force and the A1 Bombers. It'll be Devin McCullough taking on Juan Portalicio. So make sure you stick around. Blair Setford and Chris Abbott will have the call of that game. And I won't predict a 9-0 score there.
No, I don't think so, and to nobody's surprise, those are the 2 starters. They have been top-notch for both of those squads over the course of the summer. Scarborough Force had a bit of a rocky start, but have really been on a roll of late. They did run into trouble with the A1 Bombers at the ASA National Championship a couple of weeks ago in Kimberley, and I'm really expecting a good one here in the nightcap tonight.
Certainly should be, as Jason Sanford with a 1-1 count. Goodall floats that one in there for a strike. Sanford led off the second with a home run and then grounded out in the fourth. 1 for 2. And that pitch from Goodall over the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Three runs pushed across this inning, including a leadoff home run from Nick Shales. And they've got a commanding lead with 3 outs to get here to end this ball game as Sanford fouls that one off. If they can shut down the Dukes.
Well, Lance, assuming that Hill United does move on, they'll join a couple of other Ontario teams in that winner's bracket. Toronto Gators, of course, have already moved on. New York Gremlins. Moving on today in the losers bracket, Toronto Batmen were winners in a marathon over the Kitchener Cubs. And following that up, the Kingston Axemen, a bit of an upset, taking out the Bloomington Sticks. Axemen hanging on for an 8-7 win there. So congratulations to the Batmen and to the Axemen.
That ball reached out just over the head into center field. Another run comes in. An RBI single for Jason Sanford. And the lead now is 10-0 for the Chiefs.
And when you can't catch a break, you can't catch a break. Jason Sanford just kind of reached out and poked that one one-handed, and it just managed to get over the glove of Daniel Dalton. And when things are going your way, they do, and when they're not, they don't.
So it looks like Big Dale Levy will come in and bat for Brad Ezekiel. 10-0 to score in favor of the Chiefs. They have sent 7 men to the plate. This is the 8th batter of the inning, and they have plated 4 runs. Very efficient offensively have the Chiefs been here in this ball game.
Well, a lot of people thought that last year was the final year for Dale Levy, but Red came to the Chiefs management in the spring and said, look, if you would like me back, I would come back to be a mentor. I'm not looking for a spot on the field, but I'm here to help out a couple of the younger kids that you got in the lineup, Nico Carril in particular. And he's been there and in that mentor role and has done a great job with that. As we talked about, Nico has improved his defense and really had a great offensive season. And now in a pinch hit spot, opportunity for Red to take a big cut.
Well, clearly his teachings have not been lost on Carril. His game has improved throughout this season. As Levy, a swinging bunt that stays fair. Good play behind the plate from Patat. Ends the inning and finally stops the bleeding, but not before. 4 runs put up on the board by the Chiefs. They lead this one 10-0.
The annual Boys of Summer Tournament is held every July at Circle Tap Bar and Grill in Denmark, Wisconsin. We host some of the top teams in the game at one of the best venues in softball. The atmosphere of old-time Fastpitch with all of the amenities of a full-service bar and grill on the grounds can't be beat. Reduced-rate hotels about 10 minutes from the park are available in Green Bay. To bring your team to the annual Boys of Summer Tournament next July, contact Dean Kane at ct16@greenbaynet.com. Thanks to Circle Tap for their support of the broadcast program.
First Nations Payment Systems strives to deliver innovative and secure solutions that benefit merchants everywhere. We can help you decrease your costs and increase your revenues. With more than 1 million merchant locations using the First Nations Payment Systems platform worldwide, you can't go wrong by making the switch. When you partner with First Nations Payments, your clients will benefit from our world-class payment experts, support staff, and cutting-edge technologies. To learn more about how First Nations Payments can help your organization, contact us through our website at firstnationspayments.ca. We thank First Nations Payments for their generous sponsorship of the broadcast program.
For the bottom of the 5th inning. And it'll be the 7, 8, 9 hitters' last chance to scratch out, at the very least, I guess 3 runs here. 4 runs if you want to extend the game. 10-0 the score in favor of the Chiefs. It'll be Tommy Thompson to lead things off here. He was caught looking in the second in his only other at-bat. So in danger of a run-shortened 5-inning ball game, as these Hill United Chiefs have been very offensively methodical in going about their business in putting up 10 runs on the board. That ball lifted a mile high. Nick Shales now playing shortstop, settling under it, waits for it, and makes the grab for the first out. So a high fly ball to short, and that will bring up Brandon Amon. Amon reached base courtesy an error by Joel Southern, but was stranded there.
Some wholesale changes on defense, Lance, for Hill United. If they come into play, we'll certainly let you know, but took a couple of guys out and shuffled the rest of the deck.
They did, but they didn't shuffle who was in the circle, and that's where the problem has been for the Circle Tap Dukes, is Adam Fulkart, and he has been a problem with 9 strikeouts to this point. And took a little off there and a swing and a miss from Amon. So he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. And a big swing and a miss. Down goes Amon.
Lance, we talked about a couple of teams who were moving on today. Also moving on, the Northeast Drillers. They were 5-2 winners over the Elmira Expos. So they move on in the losers bracket side.
So it's all about staying alive now. You got to take it a game at a time, and work hard here is Jeff Matichinsky. Looks like there will be a pinch hitter for Matichinsky, and it looks like it's Justin Colombo that will step in the batter's box to face Adam Fulkert, and he looks at a first pitch strike in the outside corner.
Here, Justin, go keep the game alive for us against Adam. Have fun.
No pressure, not at all. 2 away here, down to their last out. Big swing and a miss. And Adam Fulkert has looked awfully good here. Despite a bit of a wobbly first inning, he has definitely settled in and mowed him down here. And a swing and a miss. That's the ball game as Fulkert finishes up with 11 strikeouts and a 10-0 convincing win for the 3-time defending champs. And Blair, just your final thoughts on the performance from Adam Fulkert.
Well, Adam certainly answered any questions that anybody might have as to whether he is in peak form. I wouldn't say he's 100%, but certainly looks like he is nicely rounding in the form as our Hill United Chiefs. Kind of remind me of Usain Bolt, working his way through the heats and getting ready for the semifinals and the finals. Hill United certainly in the home stretch of that 100-meter dash.
10-0 the final as the Hill United Chiefs remain unbeaten. We're going to take a quick break and stay tuned for the Scarborough Force, the A1 Bombers, back here after this.